beautiful soul. Welcome to Unleash Thyself, a podcast dedicated to personal transformation, personal growth, and spirituality. Now, I have a special treat for you today. We will have a conversation with Jacie Targett, a dear friend of mine, and a truly fantastic human being. Jacie is a psychotherapist out of Canada that specializes in helping people like you and I achieve new levels of success by going inwards as opposed to always looking externally. Now, I can't wait for you to see and watch and hear this recording. And it's also a special treat because it's the same recording that Jacie and I did in preparation for our beautiful partnership. You see, we're going to host a live masterclass, a free masterclass on Saturday, September 14th from 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, I'm not going to spoil much more than that. You're going to see details, of course, in this beautiful recording, as well as in the details below. So please check them out, and we can't wait to hear your feedback and to see you on Saturday. So now enjoy the show. Hello, beautiful soul. Are you ready to step into the fullest expression of your leadership potential and lead with authenticity, not just in your business, but in every aspect of your life? You've always known there's more inside of you waiting to be unleashed. You're driven by a deep desire to make an impact, right? To transform lives and to leave a lasting legacy. And despite and with all of your achievements, you might find yourself feeling that your external success doesn't fully resonate with your inner potential and deepest desires. I know that's what I've been for a long time in my life, but not anymore. So now, before we jump into what we're doing today and why you're actually even listening to this video, I want to introduce myself really quick. Constantin Morun. And with me, I have Jacie Targett, a dear friend of mine. And we will spend a few minutes together to tell you why you should attend our Realign live event coming up on September 14th. I'm so excited to have you here. Now, Jacie, welcome here as well. Let's tell people why they should listen to the rest of the video.
Why they should listen to the rest of the video? Well, probably how pumped up I got just listening to you with that introduction. I was like, I want to go to this.
Yes.
And the other reason is because if that hit you the same way that it hit me, it means there's something for you here. So trust that and lean into that and come into this with some curiosity.
I love that, Jacie. And I love the idea of leaning into that, trusting more, right? That big theme of what we'll talk about today and what we'll talk about in this beautiful free masterclass, by the way, is going to be the idea of trust. Like, how can we trust more? And it's not just trusting other people, it's just trusting ourselves, right? In the end, and trusting whatever connection you have to whatever you believe in, God, universe, higher self. And before we jump into this further, Jacie, let's tell people what you and I do, right? So I am what you would call a performance coach for thought leaders. People come to me when they've achieved a level of success materially, and they're looking for the next thing. They're looking for opportunity to share their legacy, but they know they don't necessarily have the physical time or the tools to do that just yet. So these are people that are very, very successful, but work 50, 60, 70, even 80 hours a week. And they want to create more time and more space in their life so they can focus on what they truly actually want, so that emptiness they feel inside can actually be filled with joy and fulfillment, and not with more emptiness and things you don't want in life. Now, Jacie here with me, she's also a performance coach, and I'll let her introduce herself as to what she does. Jacie.
Thank you so much. So yes, my name is Jacie Targett. I am also a performance coach, and I am known as the real life Wendy Rhodes. For those of you who have seen the TV show Billions, Wendy is just this badass psychologist who keeps all of these high stress multimillionaires on their game, making sure that they're constantly pushing themselves from that 95th percentile up into the 98th. She does that through a ton of different emotionally and cognitively focused therapies. And that's what I do as well. So as someone who has 15 years of formal university education and informal training in other healing modalities. I help people 4x their income and half their hours. And that's just the tiniest piece of what I do, because really what I do is bring people into that 4x income and half hours through their hearts. So when
Yes.
they get there, there's so much joy in their life, and there's freedom, and their relationships have improved, and their sense of fulfillment and peace and curiosity and excitement towards life is back. So many people lose that in their journey towards success. And I don't want that. I want to see successful people who are in total joy and gratitude for their success as well.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's why Jacie and I are here together, because we both see this vision where, in a world that seems more disconnected than ever before, in a world where almost all of us are seeking a form of a community or tribe that we can belong to, we can come together and we can do just that. Now, Jacie and I cannot do it alone, and that's why we're putting together this masterclass where we're inviting other thought leaders, other change makers to join us, see if you connect with what we're saying, and see how it can help you take your life to the next level in whichever direction that may be, right? And as I was mentioning, like, one of the things that may be bringing you here, like it brought me a while ago, is this idea of seeking to connect with others on a deeper level. Maybe you're tired of just having conversations about the weather or your favorite sports team, and no judgment of that. Those are fine as well. But maybe you want more in your life. Maybe you want those deeper conversations around what you're here to do. What are your gifts? What are your strengths? What's your light? What's your purpose? What are you here to bring to, of course, yourself, your family, your communities, and your loved ones? Now, Jacie, why are we calling this Realign Live? What comes up for you when I ask that question?
So, immediately, even as you were just speaking before you asked that question, what came to me is, for the people who are listening to this that are hearing what we're saying about the joy and the fulfillment and the brightness back in your life, and you hear that and you want it, but you already feel so tired that you just don't know how to get there. The
Mm,
realignment is so much about finding the things about you that light you back up. Because if that spark feels low or totally burnt out, that next step actually feels impossible sometimes. And what we're doing and what we're creating is a space where that spark can get a little bit more oxygen, maybe get a new match put to it, and start to build it back up. So that realignment piece is really about connecting to what brings you life so that you can move forward into more and more and more life.
yeah, so beautiful, Jason. You know what came out for me there to share with our beautiful listeners right now? The idea of you go through life as a high achiever. If you're listening to this, you're a high achiever. We know that, right? You're a top performer. You're a successful person. There's
And
no,
we get you.
we get you. Exactly. Which means that you also likely run through life wanting to do it all yourself because that's what you had to do so far, right? There's a famous saying that it's lonely at the top, right? And at the top can mean anything, but really for us it means being a successful person, being a high achiever, and wanting to do it all yourself because maybe you don't have trust in people, but maybe you know that you don't want to burden others. So it's actually coming from a place of love. And the analogy that came up with the oxygen that Jacie just shared, this idea of putting your oxygen mask first in the event that something happens on a plane and it comes down. But what happens after you put your own oxygen mask on first? You go do it for everyone else, at least those around you. And what we're putting here together right now is a place where not only do we get to put our oxygen mask on first, but maybe someone next to us got theirs on first and now they can help us put ours on. So you don't have to do this alone, right? It's the old days of like, oh, it's all me. I have to climb over people. No, those are gone. And what we're telling you right now is that you can put your own oxygen mask on first, but maybe with the help of others as well. And if you get ahead of others, then you can help others put theirs on. And that's what we're building here, a community of thought leaders, of heart-led leaders that are here to make a change in this beautiful world for the better of everyone. But it starts with you, of course, and it starts with your family. Now, Jacie, what are some of the challenges that come up for you that people may still struggle with and maybe going undiagnosed at this
Mm.
level of success?
The thing about not accepting help is absolutely the biggest. And what's coming to me even right now as we speak is the thing that goes the most undiagnosed is the physical toll that that stress takes on your body. And as a neuroscience nerd myself, the physical toll, it's not just on this part of your body, it's the physical toll it takes on your brain and your nervous system. And that has got to be, in my experience, clinically and professionally and personally, the easiest thing for people to hide and ignore and let slide to the background because a lot of people don't even know that it's happening. It's become so normalized for them.
Exactly. And I love you say that because for, I don't know, 36, 37 years of my life, I was just like that. I thought that my most important asset was my mind, my head, my brain. And of course, to some degree, it is. And what I realized on this journey and working with people like yourself and other beautiful souls is that there's a beautiful connection between the mind, the body, and the soul. And or you may have heard this quite a bit, right? And what Jace is talking about there that really speaks to me is this idea that unless we somehow find a way to speak to our body, we are leaving
Mhm.
behind some really, really important data that we have, yet we don't tap into. And if you look at how we named this program, it's about realignment, right? But what is it realigning? It's essentially your mind and your intentions. And then we have two other words that go with this, the word reconnect and the word remember. So it's about realigning your mind and your intentions, reconnecting with your heart and your body. So listening to your body, being able to understand what it's trying to tell you through the pains, through the aches, through the numbness, whatever it may be, and remembering your true essence, which would then enhance your leadership and presence in every area of life. Like Jacie talked about forexing your income. Sure, that's a material thing. And as a result of working with either of us or in this beautiful masterclass when we work together, that's at the minimum that you will receive is this increased success in the material world. But what if that's not all there is to life? What if you can have success in every other area and in areas you didn't even know existed that can bring you closer to your true essence, to your truth, to your joy, to your fulfillment? So that's what we're promising here is that you come to this event. It's going to be a beautiful 3 hour masterclass with lots of time for you to interact with us, Q&As, and a ton of hands-on exercises. Between Jason's experience and my experience, we've amassed hundreds of different tools and exercises that we can bring in, and we'll bring them in based on the audience that we have, which is in this case you, and you will leave the masterclass with the tools required to kickstart your life. Yes, you will be able to continue on your own should you want to. Not what we recommend, but you can. And of course, you'll also be invited to join us further down this path and build this beautiful community that we speak about, or you may call it a tribe. Now, Jacie, what excites you the most about what we're about to put on?
I had a client 2 weeks ago tell me that the most amazing part of their experience in the at that point 2.5 months we had been working together was I thought I knew myself.
Mm,
I had no idea how much was under the surface that I forgot about, that I didn't wasn't aware of. And and then they said, "Thank you so much for giving me the tools and the space to meet myself."
yes.
And I
Wow.
just think that sums it up so beautifully. I'm excited to I'm excited to be in the room as people meet themselves in a new way.
Wow. That's a mic drop moment right there. And you know what, JC? I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, even if I tried a million times. So thank you for sharing that. And What I would add to it, if I can even add anything, is that JC and I are not here to tell you this is how you have to do it. This is the only way you can do it. We're here to guide the process. We have discovered on our own paths things that worked for us and things that work for our customers and clients and people that are in our life. And we both have an extensive list of successful stories, which by the way, you can read some testimonials from below this video, and you'll get to see some of the transformations people have gone through. And remember, yes, if you're after more material success, you will get there through what we do. And then you're going to get so much more. And when it comes to some of the benefits of attending this event and spending time with us, and again, it's free, right? So this is purely a gift to you from us because we love giving and we also love to share what we've come to learn. And again, you can take 100% of it, you can take 50% of it, you can take even 10% of it, and you're still going to see an impact in your life. But some of the promises we are making is that you're going to get to learn how to create more time in your busy life and understand why time is even lost in the first place, right? Because, Jason and I both have 24 hours in a day, same as you. Yes, some people can achieve a lot more in those 24 hours than others. And you will get to understand why that happens. Why is actually our brain or mind getting in the way of us having more time? Then we're going to look at ways to reduce stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. And overwhelm, as far as I've seen with all of my clients, and JC will tell us as well, is like it's pretty much the status quo. Stress and overwhelm, they go hand in hand, and it's like, well, that's life, right? Because you got to work, you got to go take care of your family, you got to go spend some time with friends if you even make time for friends. And all of a sudden, what do you sacrifice in the end to make all of that happen? Is you, your self-care, your love. I was talking to a client of mine recently, successful 8-figure CEO. So you can imagine a lot of stress in his life. And when we first got together in that first call that we had, I asked him a question. I said, what do you think your biggest challenge is? And he was honest. He was very self-aware. He said, overwhelm. And I said, okay, that's interesting. Let me ask you another question. How much time do you give yourself every day? He's like, I don't have time to give myself anything. I go to the gym, half an hour here and there, maybe 5 minutes more on a good day, but that's it. There's, I may be getting a massage every 3 weeks, and that's it. That's interesting, I thought. So let me ask you this: if you're that person that barely has time for yourself, and you may be even cutting down on sleep and other parts that JC mentioned can impact your body, who is going to take care of you? And if no one takes care of you, and you don't take care of yourself, I'm talking about like just eating right, and all the stuff is great. Talking about mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So if no one is taking care of you, how can you take care of other people? How can you show up in your business as the leader that you know you are? How can you show up in your life for your children, for your spouse, the way you know you can show up? If your cup is empty or is half empty, or half full for that matter, how are you going to show up? Because every time you give, it's going to keep emptying that cup. So what we will be doing here, and what we specialize in our programs, and these programs that we do together, is to help you fill the cup. So when you actually give out, it's going to come from the overflow. So your cup never, ever, ever empties one bit. Which means what? You're going to have a lot more energy. You're going to have a lot more peace of mind, a lot more joy, a lot more fulfillment. Now, wouldn't that be something? And ask yourself, can I spend 3 hours with these awesome people, not having to pay anything for it? And maybe that's what I can get out of that? Like, okay, it's just 3 hours, right? There, you're busy. But ask yourself the question, what if it works? Yeah, better yet, before I let JC speak here, because I kind of monopolize this, ask yourself a different question. What if I don't change anything? What's going to happen in 3 months? What's going to happen in 6 months? How about 12 months or 24 months? Am I still going to be performing at this level, or is my performance going to drop? Look at your life and look at times when you made big changes and took a leap of faith, dove deep into the trust. And looking back at that, don't you sometimes wish you would have started a lot earlier in life with that aspect? That's what you're probably going to think here as well. Now, JC, I spoke a lot there. What would you like to add?
You beat me to all of it, but I'm going to throw in a little bit of a story. You guys can tell by now I talk in stories. In that last question of what will stay the same, what will not change that needs to change, I remember a year ago, maybe, I was in a really big crunch. I was really focused on goals. I was very work oriented. And I was leaving on a Saturday morning to go to meetings and get more work done. And my oldest looked at my husband and said, "Why is she always leaving us?"
Mm. Oh, ooh, ooh. I feel that. I feel that. Ooh.
And if you need a bigger wake up call than that, I don't know what'll get you. But don't let yourself get there. Or if you're already there, let's bring yourself back, because I promise you that from that moment on, the way I prioritized my work hours and my family, it was a 180 immediately. And yours can be too. And at the end of the day, if you're a parent, having your babies love you and know that you're there, that's going to make all the difference in the world. They don't care how much money you make. They want your love, they want your time, they want your presence. So let's get you your time and your presence back.
Yeah. 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 What if your 60-hour work week doesn't have to be 60 hours? What if it can be 20
Yeah.
hours? That's a crazy statement right there, right, JC? Like, but what
Mm-hmm.
if? What if?
And it
Right?
can be. It
One
can be.
exactly. One of the things we'll talk about is asking better questions. And it's not about others, it's about yourself. And when you ask yourself better questions, you will find better answers. Now, JC, we told people everything about this event. And of course, there's going to be more information on the page. You can scroll down. You can then sign up for this event. And we want you there on the 14th. You'll see the time and all the details below. It's going to be done live over Zoom. So you need to sign up. And then on the day of the event, you log in with your information. We'll send you more reminders via email and more information. And if you have questions, you can always reach out to us. Now, before we go, JC, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the beautiful people that are listening to us right now?
I would, yeah. I'd like to encourage everyone who has listened this far in to take a moment and put your hand over your heart, bring your attention into your body, and take a few deep breaths. And notice as you breathe what this conversation has brought up in your body. Has it brought hope and you want to expand that hope and lean into that hope? Has it brought a sense of constriction or awareness that's uncomfortable? Can you also lean into that? Probably it's brought up a little bit of both.
Hmm.
Just notice that and ask yourself what that means for you and what it would do for you to be able to engage in 3 hours of this rather than just 22 minutes.
And look how powerful this is, friends. You will get to experience a lot of these practices when you come to this masterclass. We will go deep. We will explain both the science of it, right? Both JC and I love neuroscience, psychology, and you will understand why that's important, if that's important to you. And then you'll get to do them. And you get to understand also the metaphysical aspect of it, should you want to. Because we talked mind, body, soul. And I guess I'll finish, JC, here with the one last story. I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, and like I used to be, he's very much stuck in this place where it's like very material, very mind driven. And I look at our life and I say the human body, or the let's say the human, has two engines that's driving us forward. One, the one that most of us are tapping into or using, is our brain. Right? So imagine you're having this beautiful race car and it's got two engines, and you're only really tapping into one. And you want to go as fast as you can and you want to go as far as you can, but you're only using one, which is our mind. But what's the second engine? The way I see it, the second engine is your soul, your connection to the other side, whatever you believe in, right? Even if you believe in nothing, you know that there's something more out there deep down. And that second engine, most of us don't get to use. I know that for a big period of my life, I did not use the second engine. But what if you could not only turn on that engine and actually use it? So now you're powered by both. It's not a matter of like switching from one to the other. So going from your mind to the soul. It's about how can I do this and this. And the missing piece for me, as I was starting to turn on my second engine, the soul aspect of it, was actually the bridge between them, the big connection, the big cable that really connects them and gets them working in unison, which is the body, right? Mind, body, soul. And that's what we're talking about here, how our bodies hold so much information, so many secrets that they're just waiting there for us to tap into. So, what this will do for you is it will allow you to understand why the three are important. There is not an or in the middle there, and you have to switch from being a material person, a material leader from your mind. It's about how do we tap into everything else and bring the best of all those worlds together. Now, imagine what life could look like if you do that. Okay. So, with that being said, Jacie, I want to thank you. Everyone that
Thank
listens so
you.
far, I want to thank you. And we can't wait to see you on September 14th. All the details are below. Sign up, and we'll see you there. Take care.